You're listening to Force Majeure, an actual play Star Wars podcast. My name is Adam and I'm your host, and today's episode will be brought to you after these words from our sponsors.
Do you find the hustle and bustle of the core worlds just a bit too much for you? Is the outer rim too cliched and the mid-rim just, well, dull? What you want, my friends, is wild space. Every day, new colonies and expeditions are being sponsored, and you can join these brave and groundbreaking pioneers. All you need is a right attitude and a fully endorsed indemnity waiver, and you too could be a legend of tomorrow. Sign up today at Zog Papa's Wild Space Explorations. Build yourself a brighter future.
Hello everybody and welcome back to what is potentially the final episode of this intermission arc, A Fistful of Credits. My name is Adam and I will be the GM for this adventure, and I am joined round the table by...
I'm Ben, I'm playing Dennis Clutch, a Hart Marshal colonist who seems to be a bit of a shooter that doesn't really do what he's actually pretty good at. Love that.
Will he ever get his sabacc game?
Maybe.
I am Leslie, and I'm apparently behaving myself this time because I haven't broken at him. I'm playing Aubergine Gladiolus, Temello, De Formello, Quinswald, also known as Aubertam.
Hi, I'm Mim. I am not going to behave myself because it's too difficult. I lack the willpower. And I am playing Boch Kandu, who is a Claudite thief and smuggler.
Where we last left our heroes, the fourth member of this quartet of unfortunate souls, the Frankenstein's battle droid Tyburn, had taken on a scout walker armed only with his improbable sword and done remarkably well until the scout walker retaliated and the subsequent explosion blew his unconscious and sparking body through the windows of the control tower on the floor above them of the Port Authority building on the mud-spattered, constantly drizzling world of Elmeron 4.
That'll do.
The two stormtroopers guarding the public accessible entrance to the Port Authority have been dispatched, one at the hands of our Harch Marshal with a blistering array of well-aimed Bastervolts, and one through a stun-bolt sucker punch from the hands of our shady shapeshifter. The hapless desk clerk, Jenkins, after an overdose of dried frog pills, is currently sleeping off a fit of the vapours behind the desk, and our heroes are inside the building as the security shutters have slammed down. They are aware that in the basement below them resides the Imperial bioweapon FBL-13 they have been tasked to recover in order to repay the debt that they all owe. Sirens are going, danger is near, and the camera opens up on a somewhat panicked scene. Party.
I'm thinking that Thanos is just standing up from putting the sabacc deck down on the unconscious stormtrooper and standing up with their frag grenade in hand as a trade.
Do you think we're gonna need that? You don't think we're gonna need that? We're not gonna need another one, are we?
How can you be sure? I mean, they're Imperials. They seem to get in their heads to shoot everyone. I mean, he shot me. This is a fair trade.
That's true. He did open fire. Is it? Okay. Does he have a key? We should take his key.
Good point. And I will rummage for a key.
Yes, the unconscious stormtrooper also does have a keycard on him. He also has a stim pack.
Ooh, I will just use the stim pack on account of I did take a blaster rifle bolt to the thorax.
Specifically, thorax.
Spiders.
You can't hear exactly what is happening on the floor above you, the control room, which runs this starport, but you can imagine what's going on up there, with the alarms faintly sounding, the blast shutters down, and the smoking body of a droid catapulted at great speed through their window. There is a security door behind you. Fortunately, you have at least one, if not two, keycards that might well get you through there and deeper into the bowels of the Port Authority building. What do you do?
Bok's going to go up to the door and use Jenkins' security pass to go through. He's going to make sure he steals Jenkins' jacket and hat as well.
The door swooshes open in a Star Trek style, revealing a system of corridors behind there. They are varying shades of dirty grey. In places there has been some Imperial magnolia painted over them, but the paint job hasn't yet been finished particularly. You can see a couple of other doors leading off, and you can hear from somewhere down these corridors the boots of a much larger stormtrooper squad than the one you've taken down. It's hard to place exactly where they're coming from because it's echoing off the walls, and this corridor system is quite claustrophobic and seemingly quite badly planned out.
Does Jenkins, being the mess that he is, have a little cheat sheet in his pocket?
Ooh,
He does if you want to flip a light side point.
that seems worth a light side point to me.
And it's not like a full map, but there's like notes where corridor B32, do not use.
And also washroom this way. Like the important things.
Yeah.
Felt dispensers.
Don't use this one, it eats coins. I'd like to see if there's like a directory, so I just have an idea of where our doctor friend is.
Yeah, if you want to flip a light side point, then you can have all of those useful bits of intel rather than having to roll for it.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So we have the cheat sheet and we have like an office directory.
Yeah, so Office Directory isn't the most full. What it actually is, it's a list of personnel and where they're located, because this place isn't really that big to have proper demarcated offices, but it is important that he knows, or the desk clerk, whoever they may be, knows where various members of staff are. And you can see from looking at that the captain of the Imperial Forces, Captain Plima Smud, is based on their command post, which is on the ship itself, the Indefatigable, which is the Imperial dropship. As are, you can see duty rosters for 20 more stormtroopers that are based presumably on that ship. You can see that there's a duty roster for a group of 10 stormtroopers in total, so 8 more somewhere in this building, who are on roster to guard this command post. And you can get a rough idea from a map that comes with it where their barracks, it's not really a barracks, it's not that kind of building, but where their restroom is, where they're based when they're not on patrol, where the security response room is, how many are upstairs. You get a staff manifest for the 5 or 6 kind of intelligence officers that work the various starport that don't really have a lot to do because there's not really any ships coming in at the moment, but they're also running like the intel systems and the frequency monitoring rigs and that sort of stuff here. The doctors, of which there are 3, there's Dr. Carlson Riffuselk, there is a Dr. Jamin Tonks, and a Dr. Eusemia Barrow, and all 3 of those doctors are based in the euphemistically titled Restricted Lab section, which is on the floor below. And there are directions, effectively, of where the stairwell is that leads down into the sub-basement. Also marked on there is a little note in what is clearly Jenkins's handwriting, and it's highlighting what looks to be a back entrance with a little note going, "Smuggler's door? ? Don't tell the boss." That appears to be a less than obvious, shall we say, way in and out of the Port Authority, which certainly tracks with what Ben knows about these kind of scum and villainy, in that, given that this is effectively a shadow port, or at least a gloomy port, they're not going to have only one obvious way in or out. There is always a bolt hole for this type of people, and it looks like Jenkins may have found it.
Well done, Jenkins.
The sad part is I'm trying to figure out how now to make sure Jenkins gets out.
Well, at the moment, he's not implicated in anything particular, he's just unconscious.
Yeah, that's my problem.
What, that he's unconscious or that he's not implicated?
No, that he's not mobile.
Well, the other stormtrooper also has a stim pack on them.
Yeah.
Or you could just try and wake him up.
That'd lead to questions.
Slap him with a whole row of hands.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. Well, shall we go do what we were sent here to do? Or, like, make sure that people are not doing what we were sent here to do? Because, like, it's bad enough that the Imperials have a bioweapon, which is just really bad. Next thing you know, they're going to be combining things like the common cold and anti-cancer stuff to then just, it's just going to end up badly.
I'm not really too keen on our Chevin friend having it either, but, let's do what we're supposed to do and then jump those bridges when we get to them.
Okay, how about we just blow the place up and head out the bolt hole?
Ooh. Well, I'd like to try and retrieve Tyburn. I don't know that we'd be able to if we blew him up. But he's already been kind of blown up already, so should we at least locate the bioweapon before we blow everything up?
That seems like a reasonable plan.
Because if it's aerosolized, that'd probably be bad.
You make a good point.
I mean, if he's upstairs, you could probably blow up the ceiling and he'd be downstairs again.
You make a very good point.
It's true, but so would all those officers.
Yeah, but they're kind of fleshy and he's not.
Good point.
We are as well. I don't know if you've noticed. I know that you're not me anymore, but we're also kind of fleshy. Yeah, but let's bioweapon first.
Bioweapon, droid head, get out. Gotcha.
Sounds like a plan.
Those cheesesteaks. Do you think I could eat one?
Yeah. No, that's fine. I had lunch.
I'm going to nom a cheesesteak. Adam, is there any way I can ask the GM to give me back some strain for eating a cheesesteak?
It's a really good cheesesteak, man.
I'm fluttering my eyelashes.
What I would say is this. At the moment, you can hear that there are stormtrooper boots running probably towards you. If you can get somewhere in here where you can catch your breath even for a second that isn't the entranceway where you know they're clearly running to, then you can absolutely get some strain back and take 5 and basically do the post-adrenaline strain recoup that comes at the end of combat. But at the moment, you are aware that there is potentially 8 stormtroopers making their way to where you are, and you've not got long to make a decision with where you're going and how you're getting out of their line of sight.
Would I be able to make a streetwise check to figure out, based on the map that Jenkins has, that we're able to find like a broom closet or a supply closet that we could then duck into and catch our breath and plan a trap?
Absolutely. It's a streetwise test, as you say. I'm going to give you a boost because you've got Jenkins' map, which will give you an assist.
Woohoo.
I'm going to flip a dark side point, and the difficulty is therefore 1 purple and 1 red.
Awesome.
I'm going to add a setback because of the pressure, because you know that if you get this wrong, a group of stormtroopers is probably going to run in and spoil your morning.
Yeah, but I seem to be a very streetwise Hark, so I get to remove a setback on my streetwise Ordinal Underworld check.
Bok isn't going to try and hide because they shouldn't shoot at me. I look like their mate, I should be fine, so I'm going to be ready to point people outside and say big boy did it and ran that way, basically.
But Jenkins is still behind the counter, so you're going to need to, if you're going to do that, you need to find somewhere to hide Jenkins.
Oh, can I not just kick him further under the counter?
I mean, yeah, I suppose.
Just going to kick him further under the counter then. I'm pretty sure he can be squidged a bit.
Just put like a trash can in front of him.
Exactly. File him under J.
Oh, is there a waste extractor? Can I shove him down a waste chute? I bet I'd have to spend a light side point for that.
And also, not the kind of waste chute that he'll walk away from. Not here.
Yeah. So on that streetwise check... Mm-hmm. Oh, no, there it is.
You're worrying me, Ben.
No, it is 1 success and 3 advantage.
Yeah, you can absolutely identify a few rooms that are effective, like break rooms and supply closets and meeting rooms, which will likely not be being used at the moment because, it's the kind of glad-handing meetings that you get when a whole load of pirate captains rock up. But currently, there are no pirate captains here, barring a handful that are either already off base with the various criminal factions or have been arrested for being probably up to something. You also, for the successes, I'll let you decide what you want to do with your advantage shortly. You also know the routes there's 2 ways, obvious ways down into the basement from the inside. You confirm that the secret exit that the bolt hole entrance that Jenkins suspected is there. Is there anything else you want to do with those advantages? Any more secrets you want to find, or?
I think at least one of them, I'd like the idea of having Jenkins now sleeping it off on the outside of that bolt hole. Like making sure that we know where it is, and then actual human Jenkins is now on the outside of the building.
Yeah, okay, I'm alright with that.
I'll help you haul him over.
So that there's no way that they can be found again and accidentally, cause problems.
I tuck him in with a scrap of newspaper.
I think I'm going to have that cost 2 of your 3 advantage, because you've also got to get him there whilst avoiding the stormtrooper patrols that are coming in.
I mean, that's fair.
I figure it's at the back of a custodial closet.
Okay.
It's like, this is just a closet. Oh no, it's not.
Yeah.
Anyone else on what to spend that last advantage on?
You and I both fit in that closet.
That was the kind of thing you were looking for anyway, so I'm not going to...
Yeah,
Okay.
I do have another suggestion, if you're interested in hearing it.
I would be.
And that is, as you put Jenkins on the other side of the supply closet, you see where the cargo lift is that they use to take cargo downstairs into the sub-basement. It doesn't look like it's been used much recently and is almost certainly security locked, but you at least kind of go, oh, that's how they nicked all the cargo. They got it down there through that lift.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Does that lift also go up?
It doesn't go up to the control room floor.
Alright.
It's like let you get outside a pub where it's a lift down into the beer cellar to move the kegs down. It's that kind of...
Yeah.
It's from ground floor to basement rather than internal.
Okay, totally makes sense. I was mildly hoping, but sure.
I think that's a legit hope.
Yep. Alright, so we are now hiding out with our wonderful lookout for the stormtroopers. We're now pretty close to where the FBL-13 is.
It also tells us what direction we need to head to, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Because we
true.
didn't have a specific direction for the sub-basement, so now we're like, oh, it's south of the building.
Yeah.
Kind of, that thing.
There are basically stairs that lead down to the basement from the first floor, because that's presumably how they've got whatever in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can access it from the inside. But yes, so you two are there. And Mim, are you going with them then, or are you staying on the front desk as Jenkins to kind of point in surprise and alarm?
Probably shouldn't split the party any further.
I'm good
So
with it if you
I will-
are. I don't mind.
No, I will follow them along. However, I'm going to write a quick note that says back in 5 minutes and pop it on the front counter.
Is it just back in 5 minutes, or is it back in 5 minutes in the loo or something? Or can you, like...
Back in 5 minutes, gone for brunch.
Popped to the fresher, back ASAP.
Yeah.
Had dodgy cheesesteak.
Exactly that.
And yeah, you do now have 5 minutes secure and safe to catch your breath. So it's a discipline or a cool test with no difficulty. For every success, you get a strain back. For every advantage, you get a strain back. Because, meh. I'm not sure that's exactly rules as written, but it's certainly rules as ran.
Cool. I will do a cool test, and I get 1 strain back.
I kind of wish that I could get more back. Got 2 advantage and 2 success.
I get 4 back.
So yes, you have managed to catch your breath. You can hear the stormy boots kind of clomping around. You can hear very muffled kind of chatter on their helmet comms, because there's always a little bit of bleed. It's indecipherable. The alarms have switched off by this point,
Yay!
presumably because they're in here securing around. They don't need to be alerted any further. They are already alert enough. But yes, it might make things a little bit more difficult. In fact, I'm going to flip a dark side point
Ba, 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 bum.
to make that a little bit more difficult. There are stormtrooper patrols now alert and in this building moving around. So if you start making too much noise, if you start being less obvious than we might hope, or if it's a dramatically appropriate moment, there might be difficulties to come.
Alright, so I'm ready to stealth downward.
Stealth. That could be a thing.
I think it probably will be, to avoid drawing attention. So yeah, if we go for a group stealth test, the difficulty is going to be 1 red and 1 purple, which is to reflect the general heightened awareness of what's going on in here.
Does anybody actually have stealth?
I've got 1 level in it.
Okay.
I've only got 3 ability.
I've got 4 green to drop in the pool, if we want to add
Nice.
Mim's yellow.
That'd be great.
I would like to suggest that our marshal removes his spurs,
Fine.
or at least muffles them with these handy mop heads that I found.
The indignity.
Oh, just stick a cheesesteak on them.
Stop casting aspersions on my cheesecake. Cheesesteak. Cheesecake? I don't know.
Oh, if it was cheesecake, I would have eaten the whole thing. What's the dice pool then? Who's rolling it?
You have a level, I have 4. Do we get a boost for our Marshall?
Yeah, I'll throw a boost in there. Yeah, I'll
Yay.
like that.
Yay, the Leslie pool has a boost in it.
Yay! It's 1 red and 1 purple is your difficulty.
Then now we scry.
Well, the mop heads neither helped nor hindered. So that is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 4 successes and an advantage.
We are stealthy.
Uh-ohs.
What?
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, Leslie, you're killing me here.
Well, not yet, but maybe.
Hopefully not literally. What was the red for? Just, did you flip a point, or...?
It's general heightened level of awareness of what's going on here. It's probably a bit smaller than the overall vigilance pool that they would have to spot you, because that would have a lot more dice in, because it's effectively a minion group of 8, but it didn't seem right for it just to be purples, given that there's active alerts.
That's legit.
Mm-hmm.
That's legit. Not good, but legit.
This is what's going to happen. You manage to avoid the stormtrooper patrols as they're running around the building. You make your way to one of the stairwells that leads downstairs to the sub-basement. You sneak your way down to the sub-basement level, and what you can see in the sub-basement level is it's quite big. It is in fact a bigger space than the Port Authority above it. As in, it extends beyond the footprint of the building above ground. They've hollowed out more cellars, effectively.
Mm-hmm.
And a good chunk of these are filled with cargo crates, smaller cargo crates, which are stamped with a variety of kind of like tariff inspection signs. There's quite a lot that are very clearly falsified tariff inspection signs.
Important text.
Yeah, that sort of thing. There's a whole variety of stuff down here that doesn't appear to have been properly documented. You can see as well that there has been a security door recently installed about 2/3 of the way down, and next to that in Orabesh is the sign which says Restricted Labs. The despair comes into play like this. In front of those security doors are 3 stormtroopers, blasters out, ready and watching. They haven't seen you come down because you did so well on your stealth test, so you've made it down to this level and have basically taken up position behind the crates. But there are 3 stormtroopers in front of the security door to the Restricted Labs.
Okay. I have a really dumb idea.
Does it involve a grenade?
Well, yes.
I'm on board.
The idea of Thanos coming up, because it's a very obviously stormtrooper piece of armor. Excuse me, sirs. I believe that one of you have dropped this. Can I give it to you here, or shall I just put it over here on this shelf? And just trying to deceive my way up to them.
Okay. Okay. That wasn't where I thought this was going to go, I'll be honest.
Been nice knowing you.
I thought there was going to be a can I use skullduggery to sneakily roll a grenade out of cover in front of them. But no, let's go your way. I think I am going to want a deception test for this one, because as you step into view, they lower their blasters and are a bit like,
"Oh, you, what are you doing here?"
So it's going to be deception, and that's opposed by vigilance, I think, isn't it?
Just your friendly neighborhood spider, man.
Well, fortunately, it's not a group skill, so your difficulty is 3 purple. I am putting a setback in here as well, though, because there is no legitimate way that you should be down here, much less down here holding a random grenade. So, yeah.
Can we get a boost for Wabahoo effect?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. You can absolutely have a boost, because...
Because what the crap, man?
Yeah.
I would like to use a point, if that's okay, to upgrade my check.
Leslie supports.
Fine by me.
Yeah, did not fail.
Technically neither did I, though, so...
I got 1 success, 1 threat. Yes. And 2 blank dice.
Okay. They certainly allow you to approach to within short range from where you are, but they definitely don't trust you. Their blasters are still trained on you, and I think that what that threat effectively means is when you make the decision, if you make the decision to gently toss them a grenade and go catch, we're going to go into initiative rather than like Mikey's sneak attack on the scout trooper, which was very confused, they are canny enough to know that something, it still isn't right. They're definitely on the watch for you to make a move.
Yeah.
I love a good hi, how are you doing?
Excuse me, Meister. Bonk. And indeed, they, as you get closer, the one in the front goes,
Don't come any closer. Why are you holding a grenade? Get away from here. You're not allowed to be here. And don't even think about throwing that grenade at us.
He's a local.
At the very least, I've provided great distraction. I was kind of hoping for some more advantages. Have Bad Cop come into effect as someone then just walks in. Like, have Jenkins come in with 2 upgrades. That'd be perfect, but oh well.
Okay, so let's pull the camera back a little bit and check in with Ober and Buck.
Bok's face is one of pure shock, disbelief, and WTF. What's the fudge?
Yeah, that tracks. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Were you expecting? I was not. I was not prepared for that. I'm not really sure how we should be moving forward.
No, I wasn't expecting that either.
You can't be just a person, right?
No.
What if I gave you a face? Can you work from a picture?
What do you mean you've got a skinned face in your pocket? That's weird.
No, a picture. I've got a blast ball card. It's autographed.
I think I've got to have seen them properly. Look, I can walk out and maybe, just maybe, they will look at me long enough for you to get a shot off. Have you got a gun? Why is it everything Jenkins says he sounds like he's about to burst into tears? It's a terrible voice.
Because he probably was always about to burst into tears. I mean, that seems pretty on par. He seemed rather traumatized by having to sit at a desk.
No wonder he had those frog tablets.
Oh, yeah, I still have those. I would like to maybe do... You don't want to throw the grenade. We don't want you to throw the grenade, but we need to get past these people, right?
Well, we don't have the grenade. He's got the grenade and he's just handed it to them.
I would hand most of the grenade to them, but that's only if I had advantage.
Don't talk to us. Don't know we're here.
Well, here's the thing. Because I can get through... How high are these ceilings?
They're probably about 10 foot high, and the crates are stacked between 6 and 8. They're certainly well within your parkour skills.
Yeah, because I'm thinking we can create a further distraction and maybe lure some of the troopers away.
How about if I run out there and scream, "Quick, come help! They're trying to break in."
I think they already know we've broken in, but that is an option. That is totally an option. I will slip back here. I kind of secret myself in like one of those weird. This stairwell was put in poorly, kind of spaces.
Yeah,
like they ordered the size A stairwell for a size F hallway, kind of thing. So there's just a little, and I just kind of go floop, because I'm tall and I'm like a beanpole, and I'm green, so it's appropriately.
Yeah.
So I just go whoop into the little sealieway, and okay, panic.
Okay, here goes then. And Bok psychs themselves up as they look like Jenkins and Elsa.
Maybe actually burst into tears.
I'm already close. Listen to my voice. Okay. So I'm gonna run round the corner. I'm gonna shout for help, drop to my knees, and blast one of them in the stomach with my gun. Did I say that out loud? I hope not.
I mean, you could. That's an option. That's certainly an option. You see, in my little confined space, I do some rejiggering and I pull out a holdout blaster because that's what I have. I'm like, okay, I've got nothing better. Do it.
Okay. Well, otherwise it's running around the corner going, "Hello, please shoot me." What do I do?
No, it'd be run around the corner, panic, and then fall down crying.
Okay, yeah, that'll work. So.
And this is all happening on very...
While this is going on, we're going to very quickly cut back to Thanos Clutch and these 3 stormtroopers, one of whom, in the delay, has started advancing very cautiously on you. They have taken their lead hand off from supporting the rifle and have opened their hand out and like...
Okay, hand over the grenade and come with us. We're gonna put you in the suspicious prison. because you're clearly up to something.
The only thing I'm up to is I'm trying to give this back to you, but you don't seem to want to take it.
You shouldn't even be in here. Why are you even in this building?
Well, you see, I had a contract that was upstairs, but then all of a sudden the alarms went off. There was this huge noise on, I think it was the second floor, and I looked down and it was just raining this red stuff, and I wanted to take some place to hide. And this seemed to be the place, and then I found this, and I came out, and I saw you here, so I thought, well, it's better to give it to you than have it rolling around on the floor. That just seemed like a bad thing.
You're telling me you're just a good citizen?
I try to be.
You can't see them narrowing their eyes behind the faceless helmet, but they clearly are. I think I'm going to want another deception test at this point, please, just prior to Bok then coming in to muddy the waters even further. So, yes, deception, please. Difficulty, once again, is 3 purple.
To completely corroborate the story that was just shared.
Well, let's hope there's some advantage then.
2 success and 3 threat. I'm not doing well on the threat advantage side of things, but I'm doing well on the success part, so I am successful.
You're never there when you need them.
They don't shoot you on the spot.
Yeah, so the stormtrooper that's moving towards you, they still clearly aren't buying your story particularly, but at least they're not behaving like that aggressive. It doesn't look like they're just going to pounce on you or shoot you down.
This is good. I'm kind of thinking that I have the ring for the grenade to be wrapped around my thumb, so that if they were to grab the grenade away, the pin would not go with it.
Yep, okay, that seems fair. For those threat, I'm going to throw a setback die in on Mim's impending roll to corroborate your story, and I think I'm going to give you a strain, because they're getting awfully close, and I think the pressure is starting to build, especially because, as far as you're aware, you may well have been abandoned by your comrades.
I mean,
because
fair.
This has been a while now, and they haven't backed you up, nor have you seen them make any sneaky kind of movements round, because you've got your 8 eyes kind of scanning the shadows.
Yeah.
It's almost like we weren't given a plan.
I mean, we're very close to me saying it was a boring conversation anyway.
I think I better get out there now. I think we've left him long enough.
The lead stormtrooper has also lowered their blaster rifle entirely and are reaching behind them for a set of magnacuffs. At which point...
Bok, on the verge of tears, looking like he's just run a half marathon, comes running round the corner going, Oh, you wouldn't believe what's going on. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, my goodness. Oh, it was awful. I need your help. And collapses down on the floor in tears. Oh, the humanity.
A human would say that.
Yes. It's a deception test. It's 3 purple, and there's a setback in there as well.
3 purple and a setback.
I would like to request a boost, since Jenkins is a sop and they know it.
Yeah, okay. You can have a boost for that.
And I would like to encourage Bim to flip a point, because I'd like this to go well.
Yeah.
You can flip a point if you want.
Well, that gives me another green, doesn't it, if I flip it?
If you're starting with all yellows, yes.
More dice, more power.
So you're giving me a boost, Leslie?
Well, just generally the Jenkins disguise.
I requested one from the Leslie pool of shenanigans.
I will use a light side as well, so that gives me 3 yellow, 1 blue, 1 green, against 1 black and 3 purple. This is all my acting skills, because I did a summer course at Space Rada. Oh, that's not good.
Alright, Mim. Mim, don't roll like us. What are you doing?
Oh, no, it's not bad. Sorry, I just got... My yellows are mostly blank.
Uh-ohs.
No, it's okay, though, because those are threat, not failures. So altogether, that's 3 success, but 2 threat. We are doing well on the threats at the moment.
Okay. I think what's going to happen with that threat is, as you come in as Jenkins, bursting into tears, wailing about the problems that's going on, the stormtrooper that's closest to Ben is going to decide that enough is enough, and they are reaching towards you, Ben, with their magna cuffs out, ready to cuff you, because they can't have you running around here at this point. The other 2 go,
Jenkins, what's the problem? Calm yourself down, you little noodle. Stop sobbing and tell us what's going on. What's happened upstairs?
There was a big explosion and everything went boom, and there was a big noise upstairs, and I think somebody died. And I'm glad Mr. Spider came downstairs. He was delivering a parcel, and I told him to run. I said, run, Spidey, run for your life. And it just, it's awful. I think they need your help up there. You should probably go.
So, two of the Stormies kind of look at each other, shrug, and then start making their way past you to go up the stairs. The one who is approaching you, though, Ben, is going to attempt to magna-cuff you. I don't know if you're going to let them, or if you're going to try and fight back, or if this is the point that you kind of push a grenade in there.
I have 6 arms.
Yeah, and they do only have one set of cuffs, but they don't appear to have realised the futility of what they're doing. So, until they get really close to you, at which point they do kind of look at the one set of magna cuffs they've got and your 6 arms, but still look like they're going to give it the old college try.
Well, I guess my reaction to that would be...
Not him!
Just
okay.
Let him cuff one set of your arms and be like, what you gonna do?
Well, see, I also have binders, so I'm just sort of thinking of, no, you first. Yeah, I do have that. I mean, I have absolutely abysmal brawn, but yeah.
Do it.
I'm willing to give that a shot.
I'd let you use skullduggery for that.
That would be awesome.
Because the last thing the Stormtrooper is expecting, as they're working out which of your sets of arms to cuff, is that the one set of arms they're not looking at to come up and cuff them.
Yes, I do have quick draw, yes. That would be perfect. It's just a clank.
It's going to be against their vigilance, which is still 3 purple. I am flipping a dark side point, though, for this.
Alright.
So it's 1 red, 2 purple.
1 red, 2 purple.
I am going to give you a boost as well, because they are absolutely not expecting this, and can't work out which set of arms it's going to be coming from anyway. I think your natural polydexterousness... Multidexterousness? Polydexterousness works here.
Okay, and I think I will flip a point in retaliation because I want this to succeed. That way I'm not using our last one. Waha. I have 2 success and 3 advantage. Haha.
Okay. So yeah, you whip your cuffs up and slap on a set of binders, at which point they look like just, again, dumbfounded for a second, and their head kind of tilts quizzically as they're suddenly processing this is not how it's supposed to go. Do you have any suggestions for your advantages?
Well, I now want another set of cuffs. I just used one. Well, yes, I actually do kind of want to get their cuffs. I'm wanting to do this in such a way that it isn't alerting the other stormtroopers.
If you want to spend 2 of those advantages, I will say that the other set of stormtroopers, by the time you do this, have gone past you and are heading up the stairs.
That would be perfect. Yes.
Which still leaves you with 1 advantage.
I kind of want to heal 1 strain.
Okay. I think I'm going to keep it out of initiative at the moment, because I'm liking kind of the dramatic flow of this. So, Ober, you see 2 of the 3 stormtroopers that were down here are basically going past you, about to go up the stairs. They don't appear to have noticed you from your little hidey hole. You can hear Jenkins sobbing in the background. The stormtrooper is clearly about to say something and start to call out. What do people want to do?
I will parkour through, and as I go overhead, I will pull his helmet off.
Coordination test for that one, I think, to yank his helmet off, kind of in the... Or athletics? Coordination or athletics? I'll let you choose. I can see an argument for either of them. I'm flipping a dark side point, and the difficulty is going to be 1 red, 1 purple.
Can I have a boost because he has no clue what's happening and he is currently very focused on my teammate?
And because his hands are cuffed, yes.
Rude gesture, rude gesture, rude gesture. 3 success, 2 threat. So I successfully bounce off wall, helmet, wall, and something bad happens. Or I hurt myself, which is something bad, I guess.
Part of me wants him to be able to get off a warning cry through his radio, but another part of me says that if he does that, it negates the entire point of what you've just done, and that seems mean. So what I'm going to have happen for those 2 threat is, there is more resistance than you expected as you're yanking his helmet off. And you rip it off, and then go kind of, you land badly and go for a bit of a roll and crash into one of the crates, and you're kind of stuck ignobly in one of the crates, kind of folded over on top of their helmet, Your butt is wedged in one of these crates at the moment in a most undignified fashion, and there is a bit of a noise.
You see the angry tail fluff as I try to get out.
Oh, I'm very upset. I'm crying more loudly. Oh no, it's awful.
This person has got no helmet on. They look like they're about to start shouting, but they've had the wind knocked out of them a little bit from having the helmet pulled off. Ben or Mim, if either of you want to react to that before they get a chance to holler.
If you want to, go right ahead.
Oh, and I think this is the perfect moment for while I've been crying and tearing at my clothes and oh dear, whaley, whaley, oh whaley, whaley.
Sprinkling the ashes.
Bringing out the gun and stunning him again.
Okay, I'm not going to make you roll for that because really, they're pretty much pinned in place. And at this point, it's one stormtrooper, really. So yeah, you whip out the gun and you sucker stun them again, and they collapse to the floor in a bit of a twitching heap.
The other stormtroopers have gone past now, haven't they?
Yeah, they've gone up the stairs.
I think this would be a handy moment to do a quick computer check for a holographic costume of this stormtrooper outfit before we go through the door, if I can, so I can change into it if need be.
Is that how your chameleon thing works?
Holographic costume, easy computer check to record new garment, daunting to record facsimile of garment.
Yeah, just do an easy computer test on that one. It's not like Stormtrooper armour isn't ubiquitous and pretty much identical. It's not like you're trying to, do a Girl on Fire, Hunger Games style, beautiful, shape-shifting frivolity. It's Stormy armour that only has to stand up to brief scrutiny, so...
Yeah, that's 1 success and 3 advantage.
Okay. You can use them to recover some strain if you want.
Ooh, yes please.
I know that it has been taxing for you in your shapeshiftery.
It has.
Are you wearing your Stormy outfit yet, or are you still in Jenkins?
No, I'm still in Jenkins. I've just taken it in case it might be more useful than Jenkins later. Also, in case I get tired of Jenkins' voice and I feel like doing a Stormtrooper voice instead.
I'll get out of my box, still holding the helmet.
Okay. The door to the restricted section is open in front of you. Or it's not open in front of you, it's in front of you. It appears to be locked with a key code.
I'm pretty sure that on our stunned guy, we'll have a key code.
You would be correct in that assumption.
I'll also hand over the blaster rifle to Kandu so that they can completely look the part if they need to.
Okay, so you head into the restricted lab area. It's a fairly small affair, and it looks like it's one of these kind of carved out storage areas that's been singled out because there's only one obvious entrance, and that's had like the more secure door put onto it. The lab itself, once you're through that first door, it's been divided further into 2 kind of main sections. On the right hand side, recessed into the wall and filling most of the space, is a huge, almost like a terrarium storage unit. It's got transparent steel across the front viewing panel reinforced with metal, and there's monitoring equipment attached to it with like a computer terminal connected that's clearly running some program or other. Inside the terrarium are mostly bushes. Thick, concealing bushes, a massive shrubbery, if you will. They're about 5 foot high and almost impenetrably thick. There's no sign of what's in there. You also notice that the top of the terrarium has been smashed open from the inside. There's an air vent above the terrarium and that's been torn down. It looks like whatever was in this container has gotten out and is in the air vents. Next to the air vent is a broken siren that presumably was blaring out an alarm earlier.
Okay.
The left-hand side of this chamber has been partitioned off with a temporary wall with a door in it. The kind of standard Imperial, portable, kind of internal fortifications. The door seems to be locked. The glass is frosted, so you can only make out outlines of the contents in there. You can't see anyone moving in there, so it's not immediately clear where the scientists are at the moment.
I'm gonna point at Jenkins, not Jenkins, and thumb at the computer because they've been doing computery things and it's not my scene. And then I will just go into the other room.
Okay, I think for the moment I'm going to keep the camera focused on Kandu while they're accessing the computer, and then we'll come back to you in a moment.
Legit.
It is a 2 purple dice computers test with a single setback on there for Imperial Firewall.
Okay, again, I'm going to use bypass security to get rid of that black dice. Because we have Jenkins passcode, ID stolen from the stormtroopers at the door, and ID stolen from the stormtroopers outside, can any of those give me a boost because I've got multiple ways of trying to get into this?
They will not. None of those cards have access to this computer system.
That is fair.
But you know what we do have? We have the name of one of the scientists. So you know a profile to work with.
His name is Rude.
I'll give you a boost for that one, but not for the keycards.
Okay.
The Leslie boost pool flourishes.
Thank you kindly. So altogether then, that is 2 purple versus 2 yellow, a green and a blue. Well, hoorah.
Yay?
That is 2 success, one of which is a triumph, and 1 threat.
Okay.
It's pretty on par.
Yeah. So this is also a bioweapon coded BOL-26. It appears to be some form of chimeric predator, and the scientist who's been studying it, which is Dr. Tonks, seems to struggle to describe it. All they can really say is that it has a chicken head with duck feet and a woman's face too. It looks like it took 49 attempts before they finally managed to capture it, and it killed an awful lot of people before they managed to take it alive. There's details in the notes here about how it seems to be more intelligent than just an animal, and possibly has some preternatural senses, and it's developed some advanced kind of chameleonic tendencies to help it blend in. It's an ambush predator as well, and there's reports that Dr. Tonks always felt like it was just waiting in the bushes for him. Bushes that, in fact, weren't in the terrarium when it was first put in there, but no one can precisely remember when they appeared. There is some Imperial Code security coding recorded on it as well, like a danger assessment. And for this, it is Crimson Actual Focus. Crimson Actual suggests that it's a high-risk threat to the Empire and Imperial interests, over and above what you might expect from a single individual, so it's clearly assessed as being an extremely dangerous creature. The focus part is used to demarcate potential force use or sensitivity. Mim, what do you want to do with your Triumph? You can access from here the full security notes and system for the FBL-13 as well if you want.
I can either get all the information, or I can try and shut down the... Could I possibly shut down the security alarm? Just have it that this place has been searched and declared clear already, or...
Yeah, if you want to do that instead. Basically, so there's not going to be any more Stormy presence coming down between you getting out of here. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Basically, to make sure that we don't have any more interference from down here. Do you want to be able to go straight for the objective, or do you want to make sure that nothing else can come and jump us out, apart from, obviously, Bull 26?
I'm fine either way. Whatever you think Kendu would choose. Is Kendu going to be more cautious about getting out, or is Kendu going to be more goal-oriented?
That's a good question, actually. I feel pretty secure in my ability to get through, but it all depends on whether Thano wants to go and hand out explodey surprises to people.
I mean, whichever you'd want to do, I'm up for. I can definitely go try and do the Girl Scout cookie thing again.
Girl Scout grenades.
Exactly.
Okay, no, I'm gonna stick to being able to take all the information about the new bioweapon, the living one, Bolt 26, but also the location and details of the other bioweapon, the one that we've actually been sent for.
The other bioweapon appears to be in the other room, and as part of your Triumph you get the security codes that unlock the storage container that FBL-13 is contained in, either to unleash it entirely or just to remove it for being able to carry, because certainly the dimensions of the size of FBL-13 compared to BOL-26 is considerably smaller.
Oh, when they said they were bioweapons, I kind of thought it'd be a code, and now it looks like it's actually going to be a sentient being. They are really hard to transport.
FBL-13 is currently coded as Emerald Sleeping Focus, which suggests that at the moment it is an extremely low threat level. It is not presenting an immediate threat, even if it could, but it is potentially force sensitive, which once again raises the question of why exactly is it a high security thing? It could simply be that unlike the BOL-26, which presents an actual threat to Imperial interests and potentially is somewhat indiscriminate, it could well be that FBL-13 is a lot more pliable, perhaps, or has not yet been awakened to its full potential. It's an odd security coding for what it is. But it is indeed in the next room, and again, as part of your triumph, you can unlock the security door that lets you into that room. And you do that just in time for Orba and for Thanos, assuming Thanos is following,
Yeah, sure.
to enter the second room. The second room looks like it used to be kept fairly sterile. Used to be being the operative word, because there's a body collapsed on the floor a few feet into the room. They're dressed in a lab coat type getup, and their face has been torn off, and their blood is everywhere. It's particularly drained into the boards that the imps have placed across the floor, so they're not standing on the dirt that kind of makes up the floor in the rest of this basement level. There are the usual workstations with even more computers and that sort of thing on. There's also something even more striking. Mounted on a pedestal at the back of the room, connected to yet more monitoring equipment, is another containment unit that looks like a futuristic cross between a terrarium and a pet carry basket. Inside there is what you can only assume is FBL-13. It is small, it is blue, and is covered in an extremely thick layer of fur. The closest real-world analogue, I suppose, is that of an Angora rabbit, albeit extremely blue with a small set of kind of antennae on the top of its head. It's certainly a fuzzy blue lagomorph. And it's just watching you, just kind of very peacefully, just watching you, with its head cocked somewhat quizzically, one of its ears kind of bent over a little bit, its little fuzzy nose twitching, looking completely and utterly harmless, and certainly not justifying all the extremely dangerous do not approach labels plastered around it.
This is where we get out the holy hand grenade?
I flop my ears like it has its ears flopped. And then I flop the other direction.
It mirrors you, and then kind of twitches its little nose.
I waggle back.
Are you talking to that rabbit?
I'm gonna actually get a little closer and wave.
It kind of flicks its ears at you again, and tilts its head quizzically to one side, wiggles its nose again, and then starts grooming itself a little bit. You know, kind of paw across its face, like I imagine rabbits do.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a very feline rabbit. It's contained in its box, right?
Yeah. It's got a little carry handle on the top of it. It's got FBL-13 on a sticker on the front of the terrarium.
I look from it down to the body. I look back at it. It's not like covered in blood or anything, is it?
No, completely clean. Looking at the body, whatever tore its face off had a very, very large set of claws, because it looks like it's one swipe.
Okay, I'm gonna hop on the comms. You opened this door for us, right? You're the one who got the door open. You let me in, and any chance you turned off all of the security systems in here?
I mean, I've turned off everything, but I've left the enclosure closed, so you can just grab the whole thing and bring it out. I haven't let it out.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that, and it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. She's saying this as much to every other living being in the room as to herself. And so she very gingerly reaches out and picks up the handle and holds the bunny up. Holds the lagomorph up to face height and says hello, and kind of twitches her own nose at it.
The lagomorph mirrors your nose twitching, but doesn't speak or anything like that. Doesn't make any audible communication.
Okay, let's go. I guess we've got what we want, right? We got what we want.
Mim,
Yes.
you still had an advantage hanging over. I have a suggestion for that, unless you want to use it for strain or anything.
No, I'm gonna risk it. I'm back to 8 strain, so that's not bad.
If you're happy with me spending your advantage for you, then you notice that in a container by the side of the computer station you're at, there seems to be the personal effects of one of the prisoners, and it looks like it might well have been the captain of the redoubtable Pnub. It seems that they threw him into the BOL-26 chamber to see what would happen, and it looks like they kept here the confiscated bits they took from him. On top of that pile of confiscated stuff are what appear to be a set of starship keys and the data slate that contains the access protocols for the redoubtable Pnub.
This seems like an amazingly good idea.
Yeah, I think we've got a ride.
Yes. Pretty sure I can find my own partner.
Is that some slight against us? We are a brilliant and efficient team. I mean, apart from the metal man who's probably upstairs passed out dead.
Yeah, probably.
I'm kind of hoping we can get a hold of that.
Grenade in the ceiling. He might still drop down. Who knows?
Well, now we've got 2 grenades, so let's try it.
I was thinking more I might just try and go in the open window and go back out after we create a distraction somewhere else.
Okay, that makes more sense, yeah.
Because I don't know if you've noticed, this is a lab, and you know what they have in labs? Really big emergency buttons.
Oh, that's quite smart.
Right.
I was going to say test tubes.
Those two. Good. Well observed. Can do. Well observed. But I think maybe we should go ahead and gather our haul and get out of here. Like now. Like now. Like now would be good. Now would be good because this is gonna be okay. I say it to the bunny again, and I'm like, "This is gonna be okay. This is great. This is a great idea."
Bunny just kind of blinks at you.
I take that as an affirmative.
Keep an eye out for something absolutely horrifying. Because there's still an absolutely horrifying bioweapon a little bit larger than that fluffy one somewhere in the building, but I think it went up.
And we saunter out.
What's the plan?
Sauntering.
I would like to throw the, break glass if emergency button on the scary things room and cause that amount of chaos, and then we go to the
Service elevator.
that thing and casually depart.
Mm-hmm.
Are you planning on using your leppy bouncing powers to gummy bears up to the control tower, see if you can snatch Tyburn's head and then bounce out again?
185%.
And assuming that pulls off, what's then the plan? Is it to get on the pnub and blast off, or give the bunny to Wexler?
I like the idea of the first option.
Yeah, I don't like Wexler. I literally have everything on my back that matters to me, so I have nothing holding me here.
Then I think, given the time, I'm going to vignette this a little, if that's all right with all of you.
Go nuts.
Sure.
So we see, over appropriate music, a montage of action scenes. We see our three still standing heroes sauntering out nonchalantly as alarms start raising once again, and the bioweapon escape alarm starts going off. The service elevator lifts. They make their way around. Oba hands the FBL-13 over to the tender care of Candu.
Probably can do, yeah, because Marshall seems to have a plan with the ship.
Yeah, fair.
Candu seems to be heavy-duty, awesome support class. No offense.
Have you made the plan then to meet them at the ship? Effectively, well, because you can move much faster because of your board.
I was thinking that.
Okay. So, we see Oba hand over the FBL-13 to Candu and Thanatos, who start making their way towards the docks nonchalantly. We see a second scout walker approaching slowly towards the Port Authority in answer to the emergency cry. We see stormtroopers around. We see Oba leaping from building to outcropping in through the open glass of the security control room, which is filled with an awful lot more dead humans, all of which appear to have been torn apart by something with big claws. You can see, as you're very, very squeamishly jimmying the head off Tyburn and sticking into your courier bag, you can see where one air vent has been burst out from the inside, and then another one has been punched in as whatever's come out has then disappeared back into the vent circulation. Shuddering from head to toe, all of your fur briefly standing on end, you leap once more out of the window onto your hoverboard, land on the muddy streets in the driving, furious drizzle, make your way, leaving a wake behind you to meet up with your friends again once more at the redoubtable Pnub. The gangplank has been dropped. Thanatos is in the pilot's seat, warming things up, and as you scoot in, the gangplank rises and the ship lifts up and blasts off. And that is where we are ending this arc. I hope everybody had fun. I hope my players had fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hope my listeners had fun. And before we leave you, this episode's patron is Bill Payne. Thank you very, very much for your support from me and from the rest of the cast. It really is appreciated. And I know we say this every episode where we're shouting out thank you to a patron, but it doesn't make it any less true or any less sincere. We really, really do appreciate your support and the support of all of you. We hope you're staying safe and well. We hope you're all staying safe and well. And we will see you next time in the new year. Look after yourselves, my friends, and we'll see you then. Force Majeure is played using the Star Wars Force and Destiny game system by Fantasy Flight Games and Lucas Books. Our intro music for this season is Unholy Night by Kevin MacLeod, and our outro music remains Suburban Outlaw by Forget the Whale, both used with gratitude under the Creative Commons license. If you like the show and want to interact with us, we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, all of which are at Force Majeure Pod, though Twitter is probably where you're going to find us more regularly. If you enjoy what we do and want to support the show, there's 3 ways you can do that. The first is via our Patreon at patreon.com/forcemajeurepod. The second is by buying us a coffee at ko-fi.com/forcemajeurepod. And the third way is by rating and reviewing us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, anywhere where you can find us. We really like reviews. It tells us that we're telling the stories that you want to hear and helps other people find us. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next time.